Right then, well, on to our latest installment of being a teenager again. I'm going to install this ambient light kit into my E93. And what I've actually gone ahead and done is, there's this little plastic tube thing that goes inside, and I didn't realize that was meant to be in there first, so I've gone ahead and put that in. And it's bloody hard to put it in because this is all bent up or whatever. I ended up using some WD-40 to put that in, and just about got it through. What I'm going to do is first do the door panels. So on the door panel itself, I don't know, I'm either thinking over here, or I want to put it in here to make it a nice clean install. It's got to go on this panel over here, this trim piece. I'm going to put it in here, and for that to match up with over here, it's not, I mean, I know people have done it over here so it lines up with this, but because with mine I want it to come over here and then down over here, I'm thinking I'm going to do it lower down. Plus I don't want it going across here because I know it's gonna annoy me in front of the screen. So yeah, I'm gonna put it hopefully in through here, then down through here and along here somehow, or maybe in this piece, I don't know. We're gonna see. And then for the back, I want it coming from here, covering this panel, and then somehow going up through there, and then around the back over here, and then into these. And there's a reason for that, which I'll show you. So how the wiring on this is, these things have this. So per connection, there's this for the actual strip itself, and then there's this bit which is meant to be like for the storage compartments, so that it will go in here or in there. I think I'm going to put it into the speaker and try and see if that works. But yeah, essentially these need to go on the same connection, so I'm going to see how I do that. Best way to do this, let me get started, and I'm going to see what hurdles I come with along the way. So something you want to do is just make sure these are kind of working for each kind of lighting segment or whatever. So I've wired these up directly, just some dodgy connections over here. This is working fine, these are working fine. These I believe are for the footwells, I guess. I'm not 100% sure, we'll have to figure that out where I want to put them. And then obviously you got this bit over here. So there we go, we've got things kind of going in motion. Mine's obviously an E93, so I've taken the door panel off, and to do that I'll take this trim piece off, which you pry it out with a trim panel remover starting from this side. I believe it was, or was it this side? I can't remember now. But yeah, that comes off, and then behind that there's 4 T20 torque splits, I think. One in there, one in there, one in there, and then one in there. Those come off, and then the kind of door handle, there's one, you pry that off, and there's one in here. Those come off, and then it's pretty much got a, oh yeah, and the plastic cover that it kind of, there would be a tweeter there, that comes off. So the tweeter cover comes off, you pull it off, pull it apart from these, and this is only very brief. I mean, there's other videos on there on exactly how to take this off, but yeah, you go ahead and do that. And with the door panel itself, you've got this kind of locking thing in there, and then this is for the door handle, which is just behind here. You just got to release that. There's a few wires and things, I won't go into it too deep, but yeah, those come off. The main thing, to get mine wired in, I wanted to test it in here before I started chopping and changing any wires. So This actually has a kind of a ambient lighting system from factory, which not a lot of people know, but it's just over there because half the time these don't work. But yeah, that's kind of in there. And then what I've done is put the pins into the plug just over there. Now as you can see, they're very close together, so they're not very, that's not going to be very safe. So what I'm actually going to do is chop the wires behind it and use a block connector tool, put these in there, and that should do the trick for us. I'm just going to test this. They're quite bright overall, to be honest. You can see there's quite a bit of light flashing in there. And in terms of connecting this up, I want it to be secure with the door panel itself. So what I'm going to do is first put the wiring in, which I'll put somewhere in here, connect the clip and cut that through there, and then yeah, wire the plug in somewhere over there, and the rest of it I guess will just sit on top over here, and I'll have this coming around like this, and this is where I'll connect up the light itself. So yeah, let's go ahead and do that. So we got the two front doors sorted, so it goes around over here. This little looping effect is really nice, to be honest. It runs along the door. Got this little bit sticking out here. Probably chop that off just to tidy it up. And same on the other side, pretty much. So that's the two front doors sorted. Now I am running out of my kind of fiber optic cable or whatever it's meant to be. So I've probably got enough left to do either the front or the back. So at the moment I'm just going to do the front because that's my harder bit, and then I'll figure out what I need to do with the back later on. But then that'll be all the front sorted, and I'm going to try and get these things in. It's a bit of rain there today though, so I'm going to have to try and battle around that. Well, I finally got the main bit of this wired in. It's taken me a while and a couple of attempts, but we're getting there. So this strip, if you can see, I've ordered these little screws in there. I'll put the size up in a second. I did try and start with drawing pins, but they just weren't doing the job. So yeah, these little screws, they're definitely worth getting, for me anyway, or like a staple gun. I got screws because I wasn't sure exactly how it was going to go in, but essentially what you want to do is keep this sort of beaded bit right on the edge. So if you can imagine, this is going to sit like this. I've got it there and running all the way around. The footwells need to still get wired in, and then I've got it running around through here. This bit's a bit problematic. I've had to cut the cord off, if I can. So yeah, just a little bit at the bottom. The bottom doesn't actually do anything apart from just hold it in. So I've cut the little piece off there, so this can kind of get wedged in. But I've not screwed this bit in because it's really tight to get the center trim piece there in. And just the other little bit that's a bit problematic is these little curves over here. So I've got a screw in here to hold this bit in, and the same with this one. But you can see it's a little bit mangled because it was difficult to say the least. And then I was running along there. I haven't fully done up that side yet. The reason being, the light for that side is actually broken. So here you go. Not sure if you can actually see, but in there, that's actually broke out. I'm going to check it anyway, just to see if it works or what the results are like. But yeah, we've got that little issue to sort out there. This is where I've got the main box sitting here, and it fits in there quite nicely actually. So how I've got that wired in is, this is the wiring for the cigarette lighter, and there's 3 wires on her. The brown is the earth, the yellow and green is the live when you turn the ignition on, and then that little pink and grey, I think it is the live for when you turn the lights on. So I've wired this up to go on when the lights are on. Now the smart feature with that is, when I've got the welcome lights on, it'll go on automatically every time my automatic headlights turn on. Now the other option is you can have it to turn on with the yellow and green wire, which means as soon as you start it, or as soon as you turn the ignition on, that's when you'd get power. You wouldn't get power before that. So that would be quite a nice feature as well. I think it's more dependent, each to their own basically, who wants to do it however. But yeah, I've gone for it to go on with the lights coming on. So that's the brown's the earth, and the other 2 are the lives. And I've just put a couple of block connectors in there. I had to do one here and one here, otherwise it would have got too big. And then just kind of tucked it back in. Wiring for that side, I've just in there, I've got you can see that piggyback fuse there. I've used that for the supply on this side, and the earth is just that T30, I think it was, Torx fit there. I haven't decided on the wiring on that side yet. I've got to wait for a new plug to come in, new light to come in. As soon as that comes on, I'll sort that out. Right, so that's all the lighting in there. I've got this just coming through here. It's literally just sitting in there, and that'll be fine there. There's the one for the speaker grill, and then the box I've got sitting, I don't know if you can see it, but it's in there somewhere. And then this, like that, just all tucked away. The main thing, the wiring, here is the plug for the ambient lighting. I've literally just stuck the terminals in there, same as what I've already done. So yeah, that's how you do this one. I've got one final thing left for this, which is I just need to wait for some more of the optic fiber cable thing. So that's all finished, so I'm waiting for that to come through. Once that's in, I'm literally just going to try and tuck it in here, screw it into there, and that'll be done. So we're going to do next part of this. I actually had to order some more of this kit, to be honest, because yeah, what I had wasn't enough. So yeah, I've just ordered another, I think it was 5 meters, so I won't use all of it, but yeah. And also, just be careful with the lights that you ordered, because a few of mine weren't working and it was an absolute pain to get them to send out new ones. So yeah, I've just had to sort that out. But yeah, let's get on with this and figure this out. So mine being a convertible, I've just taken the roof down to do this, which makes your life a lot easier. And what we want to do is have the light install going in through here, up around here, through the back I think, and then around to the other side. Keep it all on one strip. You can see that's them in the speaker grill. Of course, they're quite good effect, to be honest. I've also added them into the tweeter there. You can see that same strip goes in, which adds a bit of an extra effect. I've done this as part of a speaker install that I've got. So yeah, the lights are already fitted into this from behind. Just over here is where I've got the thing hanging in. To get that out, I need to remove this T20 Torx bit behind And there's two, I believe, behind this trim piece here. So out comes the trim removal tool, and I'll just have to pull this forward a little bit, and yeah, because I've already got the lights installed. Literally slot these in and have the cable run, have the fiber optic cable run through. So yeah, let's see how we get along. So here we have the end result. Turn this one off. Yeah, it does look much better in person, to be honest, but you can't really tell, I guess. There's a bit of a better angle. Not too bad. The tweeter in that corner there still needs doing. I haven't done that yet. Yeah. Overall, not too bad.